Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Rosina Sharon. So today we are going to do a bridal hair and makeup tutorial. I got a lot of questions on how I do my hair, so we're going to do hair and makeup today. And before you do that, kindly subscribe, share your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll be reading all of them kama kawaida, and if you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. With no further ado, let us go straight into the video. Okay guys, so we're going to start off with the hair today, and the first product I normally use is this leave-in treatment. It's very good, especially if you have relaxed hair like mine. I decided to relax my hair, guys, I'm sorry. So I go in with the leave-in treatment. I normally avoid using oil when I'm going to use gel on my hair afterwards. So after that, I just go through the hair with an afro comb, and then after that is when I go through the hair with a rat tail comb, because this comb lays down the hair better because it is very finely defined. Yeah. Yeah. And then after that, I do a very tiny segment on the front because that is what I'm going to use to lay down my edges. Unfortunately, I do not have a lot of baby hair, so I have to be creative when it comes to this. And please do this before you apply gel. Do this before you apply gel, because these hairs around the ones you're going to use for edges, they don't have to have any products on them. So do this before you apply gel. And then after that is when I apply the gel, and I use the soft and free styling gel. It is not harsh at all on your hair, so it works best. So first apply the gel on the hairs you're going to slick down. Avoid applying the gel on the the ones you're going to use for your edges. Just start off with the other areas first. Tie that down first before you start applying the gel on your edges. And then while you're doing this, use that very finely defined comb so it lays down your hair better. It looks neater this way, and way better. And then after that is when I use a very tiny elastic band to tie down the hair. And I am doing a high bun on this one. You can do whatever you want to do. You can do at the back, a high bun, whichever bun you want to do. You can do that. But me, I normally prefer the high bun because it makes my face look slimmer. So after that, I go again through the hairs I'm going to lay down with the treatment. If you have natural hair, make sure these ones you're going to lay down, the edges, make sure they're very wet. You can use water if you have natural hair, but if you have relaxed hair, please avoid using water. So wet down the baby hairs, whatever, first before you apply the gel or glue, whichever one you're using. I am using the got2b glue to lay down the edges, and you can see the brush I'm going to use. So the technique here is, please avoid using the glue directly to your hair. Use the brush, dab it into the glue, a very tiny amount, not to use too much glue, and then you brush it forward and then on a circular motion going towards your hair. Start off with forward, then a tiny, is it a circle or a curve, going towards your hair. Make sure you use the other finger to press that in so the curve appears more more angled, yeah, if you can say that. And then you press in with the other finger and join that to your hair, and repeat it however you want your edges to be laid. If you want to do a lot of pattern, you can do that, but mine, I want them to look as natural as possible. So next, for the extension, I'm using this braid, and I chose to use a braid because it's more affordable and my tutorials are mostly beginner friendly. So for the braid, kindly use a bit of oil on the braid so it looks neater. And while attaching the extension to your hair, the braid should always face the front, and then you tie it down using that elastic band. Thank God this braid comes with this elastic band, so you do not have to do too much work while tying it down. So make sure you tie it down a bit tighter Don't make it very, very loose. It's going to show. And be careful with this elastic band because it's very, very weak. After, bring back the braid to the back of your hair. So it should be looking something like this after you're done. So after that, pick out a segment of the braid and then twist it a little bit and then use that to wrap around the extension. So it gives you something like a band around the extension. So you can go high up depending on what size you want that wrap to be. So please start off by wrapping it around from the back to the front. Start off from the back to the front. Do not start from front to back. Back to front, like that. So it should be looking like this or higher depending on how you want it to be. So next you can use a hair accessory. If you're a bride, you can do white, you can do pearls, you can do whichever one. This is what I have as at now. So you just fix that and then squeeze that in so it stays firm. And then now you spread out the extension and then you can comb in so it looks neater and you know, more bulky. And that is it for the hair. Let's move on to makeup. So to line my eyebrows, I am using Davis number 3 eye pencil. And I'm just going to line these eyebrows following the exact shape of my brows. And while lining your eyebrows, please avoid using too much force and do not use very, very dark eye pencil. So next I'm going to use the Becca primer. I'm just going to use that to go through my eyebrows so it makes them appear more bulky, more visible. So after applying that in, press it in either using your finger or a brush and then wait for it to dry out first before you start filling in. So when it comes to filling in, just fill in the areas where you feel like there is space so your eyebrows appear more natural and the natural strands of your eyebrows are more visible when you do this. And when it comes to the inner side of the eyebrows, you can draw hair-like structures going up. And please use very little force while you're doing this and make sure the edge of your eye pencil is very sharp. So next, to clean my eyebrows, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. So use a very angled brush for this. And as you clean your eyebrows, drag your concealer down so it's easier for you to blend when it comes to, you know, setting your eyelids. So next, before you start applying eyeshadow, make sure you set your eyelids first. And I'm using the very same concealer I use to clean my eyebrows, which is LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. And the eyeshadow palette we're going to use today is from my all-time favorite local brand, which is the Golden Lip Cosmetics. This is the Divalicious collection. And before you start applying the eyeshadow on your lids, make sure that area has been blended in completely. So I'm going to start off with this shade. It is not a very, very dark shade. It's very lightweight. We are going lightweight, then a darker shade. Today we're using a different technique because we're going to do a halo look today and it is a bridal look, so we don't want to overdo the eye makeup. So after that is now we're going to apply the second transition shade, which is a darker shade, and we're going to apply that on the outer corner and a bit on the inner corner, just leaving a tiny bit of space around the middle part. So outer corner and the inner corner. We're not going to blend that in first. We're just going to apply some on the outer corner and a tiny bit around the inner corner. So after that, now we're going to blend the edges on our first transition so it all blends in smoothly. So for the crease region, or rather the halo region, we're going for this very, very beautiful shimmery shade, still from the Divalicious collection from the Golden Lip Cosmetics, and we're going to apply that just in the middle part. And if you want to achieve a very good halo look, Around the crease region, the upper side should always be wider than the lower side. If you want to achieve a perfect halo look, the upper side of the crease should always be wider than the lower side. And then we're going to apply a glitter liner in the middle, just a tiny bit of glitter liner, just to make that halo look pop a little bit, look more, you know, shinier, if that is a word. And then after that, we're going to apply an eyeliner just as close to our natural lash line as possible, a very tiny line. We're not going to do a wing eye today. And then apply some lashes, and we move on to the face. So for the face, we're going to start off with the hyaluronic acid from The Ordinary. We're going to apply this on our bare face first before we apply moisturizer. And for bridal looks, it is very, very important you invest in a skin prep. Skin prep actually determines whether your makeup is going to be flawless or not. So for moisturizer, we're going to apply the Cerave hydrating moisturizer and sunscreen. We're going to mix the two and then apply that on our face. Just massage that onto your skin and leave it to set first before you apply primer. And for primer, we're going for my all-time favorite, which is a Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. And for application, kindly tap it in. For primer, make sure you tap it in. And then again, allow it to set first before you apply foundation. So moving on to foundation, I'm going to use Fenty Beauty in 420. Yeah, the shade 420. And for application, I'm using a damp beauty blender. Make sure you squeeze out the excess water on the beauty blender first before you start applying. For application, as always, tap it in. Tap it in until it all blends in smoothly. And make sure you do not forget to blend in your neck. Make sure you blend in your neck, especially for bridal looks. Please blend in your neck. And blending in foundation around the forehead region, especially when you have applied gel. Avoid a product touching the area where you have laid your edges. So just go in between the spaces. So next, for highlighting, I'm using the very same concealer I used to clean the brows, which is LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. For highlighting, make sure you use a concealer that is 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. And then again, for blending, tap it in. And as for me, I normally recommend, especially for beginners, you blend as you go. Start off with under the eyes, blend it in first before you go to the bridge of your nose. Blend it in first before you move on to your forehead. So next, to set the concealer we use to highlight, we're going to use the Sacha Buttercup setting powder. And the technique is you blow off the excess powder on your beauty blender. You dab the beauty blender onto the setting powder, blow off the excess powder, and then just press it in until it all blends in. And I use that all over the areas where you highlighted using the concealer to set. So next, we're moving on to contouring, and I am using the MAC finishing powder in NW50. I'm going to start off with contouring the cheekbones, and please remember, contour is to shape down your face, so it makes your face look slimmer. If you have very sharp cheekbones, I wouldn't recommend you contour. Just use a bronzer instead, and make sure you contour your forehead as well, so it matches your skin going up. Contour your forehead. And then next, to contour your nose, kindly use a smaller brush and start off just below the eyebrows going down on both sides, depending on what size you want your nose to appear. You can do a wider space if you want it to appear wider, smaller space if you want the nose to appear tinier. And then use a cleaner brush to blend that in, so you avoid having harsh lines around the nose contour. Then after that, I'm going to reverse contour using the same setting powder I used. Reverse contour normally just makes the contour more angled. So please, if you have very, very sharp cheekbones, avoid reverse contour. So next I'm just going to the under eye, and I'm using the very same shade of the same transitioning shade I used, and then just do a dark liner on my waterline. So for bridal looks, please enhance the bride's best facial feature. If it is the eyes, because mine is normally the eyes, that is why I invest more on my eye makeup. So do that. And then next I'm just going to apply a bit of blush around the cheeks, so my face appears warmer. Then after that, I set my whole face with a setting spray, and I am using setting spray from Milani, the Goddess collection. And then after that now is when we highlight, and I'm using Fenty Beauty in the shade Hustler Baby to highlight. And for bridal looks, please make sure that bride's face glows. On your wedding day, please make sure you glow to the gods. Literally. Make sure that face is thin. And then after that now is when we move on to the lips. So I'm starting off with a lip liner from Golden Lips. I'm going to darken it a bit because this one is very bright. So I'm just going to darken it with an eyeshadow. And then because we're going for a nude lip today, I am going to use these two shades from the Golden Lip Cosmetics. Golden Lip Cosmetics is normally like my go-to when it comes to nude lipsticks. They have a range and very good quality products. So I normally go for nude lipsticks from Golden Lip Cosmetics. So I'm going to start off with the Glam Girl. And then after that, for the lower part of the lip only, I am going to apply Scorpio. So something brighter on the lower part of the lip only. Do not do the brighter one on the upper side. And then after that, you can, if you're the bride who loves, matte lipsticks, you can just look at the way how beautiful this looks. You can do matte and go. But as for me, on my wedding day, I honestly do not want my lips to dry out. So I am going to apply gloss on top. And that would be it from me today. Just look at that hair, man. Oh, it has been slayed to the gods. And yeah, so that is my hair. I do not have a veil, so I can't do a veil. But I look good. I think I'll make a very beautiful bride. So that is it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. For the extension, you can do black, whichever color you want. So this is the color I had, so that is what I used. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this whole look on the comment section, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye!